Good evening, District 7 and fellow Toastmasters. I am Fred Bergeron, and welcome to episode 3 of the District 7 PRM Forum. We have one guest, Ray Miller, who will be joining us in just a moment. But please allow me to introduce my friend, Nancy Wilkins. She is the past District 84 social media chair, and she's going to tell us how to reach your cyber audience. So please welcome distinguished Toastmaster, Nancy Wilkins.
Thank you very much, Fred. And thank you for being here tonight. I am here tonight to talk to you about social media. In today's times, there's no better way to reach your intended audience than through social media. Everybody lives on their phones. It's estimated that 37 billion people are on Facebook every day. 37 billion, that's with a B. And that's why it's even more important for you to make sure your club is on social media. I am not a professional social media expert. I learned what I know from attending Facebook seminars, from Facebook directly, or by trial and error, and a lot of error over time as things happen. And you learn, and even when you make a mistake, you learn from it and go forward. So I want to share with you tonight the most important 3 things you can do. There's a lot to talk about Facebook, but there's 3 important things. And if you can learn these and bring these back to your club, it will make a difference. Let me start my slideshow. And while I have this up, if you have a question, you have to speak to me because I won't be able to see you while this is going on. Just don't be afraid to speak up. So how does Facebook work? Well, Facebook is a very complicated algorithm. It's almost like ChatGPT, except it pays attention to everything you do on the Facebook page, and it takes that information and then puts it into their algorithm to determine what it's going to show on Facebook and what it's not going to show. So the objective for us as people who post is to attract the algorithm's attention. So the algorithm thinks that our posts are very important and then starts sharing it with people everywhere. Yes, we need to fool the algorithm or make the algorithm pay attention to us because it will automatically share. And I'll elaborate that on how we go through this. So what 3 activities can help you reach your audience or me reach my audience? Because I'm a VP PR just like you. So I'm trying to be creative at the same time. The most important thing you can do is design your posts to attract your audience. So when you're creating your posts, think deeply about whether your post will catch the attention of your intended audience. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your posts attract attention. It's been tested, and you only have 3 to 4 seconds to capture your audience's attention as they're scrolling through Facebook on their phone. What is the first thing they're going to see about their post? You have to think about that because you want to have something there that will attract their attention and pull them in and make them stop and read your post. That means that you want to have an appealing picture. Definitely want a picture. The posts that are shared most often and that fool the algorithms most often are videos first. Videos are always, back up there. First one is live. If you go live on Facebook, that will override the algorithm and it will automatically push it out to the friends. that are on Facebook of your audience. So if you want to attract their attention, when you put your post together, you need it to be something that will catch their attention. So when they stop scrolling on your picture, that you keep them there, because you want your post to attract them and make them want to stay and find out more information. If you put a picture on there or a video on there, it will catch the attention of the algorithm and start sharing. Putting just words probably won't catch many people's attention. And then when you're choosing what to post about, make sure you look at what pictures you choose. Honestly, I've seen some clubs put pictures of their members on their posts. Not sure that's a great idea, because people won't look at people and say, oh, I want to go there. But if you show someone getting an award or speaking in front of an audience, that will catch people's attention and make them stop. So think about that when you're designing your posts. There's 3 elements of creating an engaging post. What you want to do is have something entertaining at the top of it, something that catches their attention, like we were talking about, or perhaps a question that gets them to think about it. You ever notice those posts that say, oh, I think the Mustang was the best car in the 80s? Because they want people to jump on and say, no, I think it was this car or this car. They're trying to lure you in. We want to do the same thing, not so that they answer the question, but they look at our Toastmasters in greater depth. And then you want to attach your image or your video so that they can see exactly or get a glimpse into what we do in Toastmasters. The second thing you need to do is to teach your club to like all the posts, comment more than 3 words, and then share it to their own page. Now, this takes practice. Your younger Toastmasters will jump right on it. They'll like it, comment, share it, everything in 2 seconds. But your older group, which is most of your Facebook participants, they need to be taught how to like it, comment, and share, because you want to make sure that you share the post. What this does by liking it, commenting, and sharing is it says to the algorithm, hey, a lot of people are liking this post. 5 people like this post. 10 people like this post. And 8 of them shared it. It wakes up the algorithm. So the algorithm says, oh, maybe I need to share it to more people. And it will automatically send it out and share it to people, as long as your audience on your Facebook post is listed as public. It should be, because it is a Facebook post. You would want it to go everywhere. Why do we like it and share it and comment on it? Because we want to make sure that we signal Facebook that this is something we're sharing. Our third thing I put here is post, post, post. You're probably wondering why I said that 3 times. Well, the truth is that the algorithm is looking for the most popular posts. If it sees a post getting a lot of likes and a lot of comments and a lot of shares, it is going to share it. And the way you attract an audience is by posting on a regular basis. Posting once or twice a week, at least every week, nonstop, for weeks leading up to an event, or for weeks in a row. Because what's going to happen is when you type up and make your post, it's going to go to some people. But if a lot of people like it, it will go to more people. And if those people see your Toastmasters Club, in their newsfeed over and over and over again, they're going to say, wait, maybe that's a sign. Maybe I should check out Toastmasters. Honest, they're going to think it's a sign. So you want to make sure that you have your posts ready to go in a rhythmic pattern. You can go into the business section of Facebook where the VPPR should be watching for the results of their posts. And you can go and schedule your posts out for months in advance. You can take one day a month and post for the whole month, or you can post for the whole quarter. It depends how long you want to, how far apart you want to do your posts. It is time consuming to create the post, so it's completely your call how many. But I would encourage you to do it on a regular basis. Have it set up to be every 7 days or every 10 days or every 4 days, if that's what you do. Make sure that they're seeing your posts out there, because with this increased activity, Facebook again will say, wait a minute, that Toastmasters Club has been posting consistently. They must have something going on. And they'll automatically push it out to a new audience. And that's what you want to get the word out. And then you want to be sure that you watch the results of your posts. And that's one reason you might not want to go too far out on your posts. One time I made a post that had a man standing next to a Corvette. And it was amazing how many men responded to that Corvette. A lot. Not many women. But when I put a post out there about speaking in front of a crowd, a lot of women responded. So you learn a lot by watching your insights and your analytics behind your Toastmasters Club. There's a lot to learn there. You'll also learn the age categories as to how many people are responding according to their age category to the post you put in. And that is really helpful because you can see whether you're reaching a large audience or are your posts just going to one age category. Earlier, I mentioned that Facebook is the place for older people to go, and it really is. I've been a guest speaker at a local high school listening to them give their little speeches about the businesses they're going to open, and every single one of them said, we'll post on Facebook for the older crowd, and we'll post on Instagram for the younger crowd. So one thing you want to be sure with your Toastmasters Club is that your Instagram and your Facebook are linked. So once you post on Facebook, it automatically goes over to Instagram. And it's easy to do. It's just a little bit of coding. And then that way you just post one place and then both places will go. So posting on a rhythmic pattern regularly so that your audience sees the name of your club showing their newsfeed over and over and over again, you'll see that over time, you will end up getting more people visiting your club. Hopefully your club keeps track of where your visitors come from. That would be really helpful so you can see the fruit of your labor. But I would encourage you all to be designers, think outside the box, think of different things to post. Make sure you emphasize all the different skills that Toastmasters teach. It's really a great opportunity to get your club name out there. And then the last thing you want to do is make sure you monitor your posts and change them up. You don't want to keep running the same post over and over again, but you could perhaps come up with 24 or 48 different posts and post them over a year and switch it up every 2 years. You could do that. It's possible to do that. But you want to monitor how well your audience is receiving your posts. So if you're creative and you think of a different way to explain Toastmasters and catch everybody's attention, and you see good results from that, you want to carry that over to the next. Because if nobody looks at it, it doesn't do anybody any good. And then you'll learn what people like to see and what they don't like to see. The most important thing you can do is cause someone to think about why they would want to improve themselves. Because that's half the battle. If you find people who actually look at themselves and say, I want to grow and learn, and your Toastmasters card goes in front of their face, you might have yourself a new member. So think about what you're posting, schedule them regularly, and then monitor the results so you can tweak it as time goes on. Your goal is to get your Toastmasters Club name in front of as many people as possible, because it's simply a numbers game. If enough people look at it, enough people will come check out your club. So play the numbers and post regularly and change things up so that it's interesting and it doesn't become repetitive. Next is questions. I will open the floor up for questions.
Advice do you give to somebody who is managing their feed? Because a lot of people don't think about liking and sharing and commenting on stuff, and they get frustrated when their feed starts becoming reactive. So what thoughts would you have about actively liking the things that you want to see in order to control that you will see more like that?
Well, it's always a good idea to customize your feed, but you basically have to teach them how to do this. And I have even pulled up a post on the TV and showed them, this is how you like it. This is how you share it. This is how you comment. Because they have to learn that to help you. And they shouldn't object to getting your posts, because sharing your Toastmasters Club over and over again will make sure that stays in their newsfeed, but they shouldn't mind seeing that. That's their club.
Oh, yeah.
So
my thought was more about managing your overall feed. So when you like a lot of Toastmasters stuff, then you will be seeing a lot more Toastmasters stuff. I know a number of people that will see, bad news stories or whatever, reactive news stories. And, because they're paying attention to that, the algorithm ends up feeding them more things like that, even if they don't like it. So the thing I wanted to lean into is just by actively liking the things that you want to see, you can also train the algorithm to show you more of that rather than the other things that might be more upsetting.
And those things that you don't want to see, you can click in the right corner and say, I'd see less of this. And you'll see less of it. And then it will learn. I know it asks me quite frequently, do you want to see more of this or less of this? And depending on what it is, I answer. But the activity is what clues in the algorithm. They need to see activity. If they see people going to the Facebook page, liking it, sharing it, commenting on it, it makes the algorithm think it's more important. And I laughed because in West Volusia, I put a post out, and it was on a free Deltona website, like a Facebook page. And I just put like our open house out there. And then I was on like a magazine page, a free magazine, and up comes my poster. I'm like, yes, I didn't even do anything. And it went all the way around and came back to me. And I'm like, yes, that's because those free magazines out there are always looking for good information. And they'll cover that too if they see it, but they have to see it. And I also encourage clubs to go onto any of the free Facebook pages that allow you to post, word of mouth Claremont, or word of mouth Daytona, or Daytona happenings, any free site that you can post your material out there, go ahead and do it. Because the more eyes that look at it, the more likely it is that they're going to come visit. And that's ultimately what we want. Because once they come in the door, once they sign online, then we can get them to sign. We're trying to do.
Yeah, I like that. So my question for you is demographics. I know demographics is important, but a lot of people don't know about demographics. So how would you define your demographics, and how would you know what your demographics are when it comes to social media and drawing in the right clientele for your Toastmasters clubs?
Well, you have to look at your club as a whole to see who is it you want to get in the door. Like my Claremont club will take anybody who wants to go. So when I set my demographics for my audience, it's anybody 18 to 80, because we have some members in their 70s. So we have no issues. But because we're an in-person only club, we limit the area because we're in-person only. If you are hybrid, you can go out anywhere if you want to. It's completely up to you. But your club has to define its needs. My West Volusia club is only online, and I'm VPPR for that club. So all of my posts for that club have to do with presenting online or running meetings online, because that's the audience I'm looking for. So each club has its own personality, has its own culture, and has its own members that they're trying to seek out. So each club should choose their demographics carefully when they post, because the smaller the amount of people who qualify, then the further your dollar goes in your advertising. Because if you want your post to be boosted, which says sponsored, when you're scrolling through, if it says sponsored, that means it's boosted. And boosted puts it out to strangers you don't even know. And you can boost for as little as $7 for 10 days. And that's not much money, but it will put you out in front of thousands of people that you would not otherwise see. So whether you do that all the time, if your club has funds for that, they can do it on a regular basis. But if they don't have time, perhaps you just boost it when you have an open house coming, or a holiday party, or a special event. You know, you could probably find $7 in your budget to put it out there to more people. And that's a smart use of money. And it just varies from club to club how often they boost things. And I just encourage boosting, especially around open houses, because that's when you really want to reach those people you don't know. So as part of your open house budget, put $7 in for your advertising and do it 10 days out. And you'll have 10 days of advertising for $7. You can't beat it.
I think that's why some people are scared to do the boosting, Nancy, because I think they don't have their demographics defined. So I can understand that. But you also did a session a couple of years ago when you were talking about demographics on the different social media platforms. Like each one caters to different demographics. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. So could you maybe talk about maybe some of those and defining the demographics within each one of those for those of us who post on different social media platforms?
Sure. Facebook is mostly used by those age 40 and above. I mean, there are some younger people, but it's not their go-to social media. They mostly consider that for their parents. Makes me feel bad. But my sons are on there, so it's not too bad. It's just not the first place they go. So Facebook can catch your older crowd. Your younger crowd is going to come from Instagram. That's why you want a picture. Instagram's all about photos. More than words, it's pictures. So if you tie your Facebook and your Instagram together, then your posts are automatically going on Instagram. And that's where the young people are, besides Snapchat. They're on Instagram because they like the pictures. They want to tell their life story in pictures. And that's why Instagram is where the younger people go. LinkedIn is more of a professional networking tool. So it's a professional social media site. And it's designed to have a place where professionals can go and post and get to know each other, and you can hire employees and you can look for a job, and it's all professionally based. So if you're a club that's looking for that type of member, then you may want to go on LinkedIn and make yourself a LinkedIn page, and then reach out to the communities there and the people that are out there. That would be a great idea. Twitter is a different kind of member. Twitter is a little bit different. A lot of people on Twitter, usually the techie people. So if you post on Twitter or X, now that it's called, you will probably get a younger demographic or a more tech savvy demographic. Now, in all of our clubs, it takes a lot of different skills. So having a techie person isn't a bad thing, but you have to be someone who knows how to post on Twitter in order to do that. Twitter or X, I still call it Twitter. So there's different places to post. There's also Snapchat. The younger folk are on Snapchat all the time. And that's totally different from all the other ones. But that does get the younger demographic. You're more likely to get your 18 to 24-year-olds on Snapchat. So ideally, the best thing is to post everywhere. But you can only do what you can manage. I mean, if you don't have much time, you have to do the most popular ones, which would be Facebook and Instagram. Those two should be set up first, because that is a majority of your audience, and then the others would fall in behind it based on the expertise.
And have you posted anything on Meetup? And if so, had any luck with Meetup?
I have not posted on Meetup, but we have gotten new members from Meetup because they see it and they come, but not very many. I think it could be utilized more. I just was never instructed on how to do it because I was a business owner. Still am a business owner. I frequently get invited to the Facebook instruction seminars that they give for owners because they want people to boost things. So they invite all the business owners and say, come learn about Facebook so you know how to boost. And they make no secrets about it. They say that's why they're teaching.
Ray, do you have any other questions?
Not really. This one, it covers up a lot of what I know about social media, and it's a good in-depth review into it. So
that's the secret. Attractive posts that will reach your audience, post often, monitor and change it up. Keep posting. The hardest thing is doing it regularly. It's even hard for me if I don't sit down and take a day and make all my posts and schedule them out. But that's the best way to do it. So even if you can't do it now, strive to do it.
So what you're saying, Nancy, is consistency is the key.
Yes.
Because I know with my home club I was telling you about earlier, I think that's and we haven't really studied the demographics, but the fact of the matter, like I said, we post twice a week. We meet weekly. We post a flyer announcing our meeting, and then we post our photos within the same week. And because we're consistently doing that, we were able to draw in members and pretty much get them to sign up, because we went from 9 members to 19 in a year and a half just from merely posting on Facebook, and we ended up getting President's Distinguished. I mean, not knowing anything about demographics, it was just a consistency that boosted our membership.
Yes, and Facebook probably picked up on that and pushed it out to other people. Did you boost any of your posts, or did you just put them out there regularly?
We didn't boost them. We could probably talk about that later. But right now,
share them to their own page?
Yes, I was sharing them to other pages. I had access to other Facebook groups. So we've had some people from China visit us, some people from other districts in other states, but just because they saw our post, or they found out we meant hybrid, they say, hey, we want to find out how to run a hybrid meeting. So that was our secret to success. Like I said, not knowing anything about demographics, that was just how we got to be so successful.
Right. That's good. That's great, Fred.
Yeah.
You basically did what I said to do.
That's it. Just subconsciously. I guess that's the PRM in me too, in the photographer.
Yes.
Okay. So, Nancy, I think we're going to wrap it up here because Ray said he didn't have any more questions. So, my question to you is, what final words of wisdom would you like to give our audience out there as we close this PRM forum tonight?
I guess I would say that social media can really drive people to your club if you do those three things: engaging posts, post them often, and then change them up and monitor your results to see who's looking at them. Make sure you understand your analytics on the backside, because it can help you make more informed decisions going forward as to what you're going to post. But I'm always here to help. If anybody has any questions, they can feel free to contact me at District 84 or through Fred, because Fred has my contact info. And I'm happy to help and answer any questions.
And what is your email address if you want to give it a shout out, Nancy?
Sure. It's my name, Nancy Wilkins, at me.com.
Thank you, Nancy. And let's give Nancy a round of applause. Thank you for coming with this big time difference as well. We appreciate it. And I will send you the recording once everything is done. And everybody have a great night. But before we leave, I wanted to announce who our next guest is going to be and what it's going to be about. So you just heard Nancy Wilkins talk about connecting with your cyber audience. My next guest is going to be our very own Phyllis Harmon, who will be going to tell us about knowing your target audience. So we're going from knowing your cyber audience with Nancy Wilkins to knowing your target audience with our very own Phyllis Harmon. So stay tuned on September 26th for that with Phyllis Harmon, who's going to tell us how to know your target audience. I'm Fred Bergeron, ending this session as the District 7 Public Relations Manager, and I will see everybody in 2 weeks. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.